Welcome to the Wheel is Podcast once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming back at you. First of all, let me give a shout out to Dr. Anthony Dixon. He put on such a wonderful display of our history. That was world history as well. Once again, I tell you, universal stories are important, so I have to come back live just to show respect, to the world, to show you that how special uh, melanated people are globally. We just have to acknowledge that. We have to take a deeper dive sometimes to things that we don't necessarily know about. So once again, at the Will Is Podcast, we're going to grow together. We're going to learn. We're going to be. We're going to renew ourselves into a new person every day. I promise you. The reality about things are we don't know everything. None of us we don't know everything. But our duty in life is just to be a developer of yourself first. That's called knowledge of self. To develop, you have to discover. To discover, you have to really think about things. Understand those time periods. We have a time period. So one day, people are going to say 2,000 years from now, when they discover all this rubbish, won't none of this stuff be here? I mean, you ever think about that? Like 2,000 years from now, you know, do you want to be remembered in a good way? Or do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be infamous? Do you want to be remembered as how do you want to leave your carbon footprint? So we're going to walk through carbon. The first of all, let me let you know we're going to again go into a book discovery. Yeah, I know y'all like that shit. Give it up to me. Yeah, I know you like book discoveries. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do that too because it's globally. Melanated people, black people. We set the tone early for civilization. We are the purveyors, the creators. We're a global people. We have a global presence. You know, uh, the word is indigenous. Uh, American Indians don't own that term. Africans are also indigenous. Europeans are also indigenous. You get you can go Chinese, Japanese, whatever you have, whatever have you. Australians. If you are copper complected, dark complected, melanated, let's just stop all this shade, uh, uh, defile, because it's defiling really. Because you can't tell me you can't meet no, a light skinned sister, a light skinned person, period, light skinned brother, and they have the melanated prowess of just this, you know, people darker than me, and some people that are darker than I am, they have what you call a docileness about themselves. So when you have melanin, you don't own the dome of uh, being the the most of anything. That's not what this. That's not how we build here. That's too divisive, mind you. And we're gonna uncover divisiveness, things that we share from the physical perspective of ourselves. We also share uh, globally from spiritual systems, uh, architecture, uh, culture. See, we get divided, but we don't understand where things originate from. Like we tell ourselves, I was built. That's how I was raised. This is what I know. But that's just your paradigm, your perspective. That's all that is. Just a perspective, your paradigm, which is unique to you. That's your that's your right as a being to have the capability to, summon a will to move forward. So again, this is another book review, book topic, a book display. I'm gonna show you some introductions. This is what that's the better word. Let's be book introduction again. So these book introductions are extremely important and pivotal because I'm gonna also put them on the wheel list Instagram. Um, I'm working through social media as we go, like we're building as we go. I hope you're excited because I am. We have to do these things. It's very pivotal for our new steps into development. The introduction of excellence globally from the melanated community. The melanated community. You got to feel empowered about that. That's exciting. My goodness, that's so exciting. All of these topics of division. Let's get into this thing together, shall we? Okay, let's go. Butch book introductions. Let's take a little stroll. You know. All right. Let me get some little Mac and music playing. Let me like Tariq say, some music playing to let me do my thing. Feel like an uh, just show you some good old stuff. Good books, a good review. Relax. All right, we're gonna take it easy. Here we go. First of all, since we're melanated people, I'm gonna introduce a book. It's called The Great Book of Melanin Research. This is book one, but there are two parts. Y'all see that? Yeah, that's a good old camera there. I'm positioned better. Slide back a little bit. Okay, here we go. This book here. That's part one. And I also have for you book two. This book breaks down the aspects of melanin in every single fabric of living matter. You understand? The terminology of the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yeah, melanin has a lot of superpowers. Superpowers. I won't go into too much detail because I think a lot of my audience will know what melanin is because this it's in the fabrics of your fast twitch muscles, your brain. Uh, you know, it activates having melanin it makes you very perceptive and susceptible to the sun. meaning it doesn't harm you. It builds with you. It teaches you how to respect its power. We're going to keep on strolling, you dig? All right. Next book. Primal Myths. This book is about stories that indigenous people share globally. All right. Globally. Indigenous stories, different spiritual systems that were relatable, that had a hell of a lot of contrast. I mean, they had a lot of the same characteristics, a lot of the same descriptions and stories of how to better your human journey individually. So, if you think about that, the human story is, let's say, 300 plus thousand years old. Ages change. We just left the age of Pisces and we have moved into the age of Aquarius. You understand? Okay. Let's keep moving through some books. I bought enough in here. We're gonna first of all, before I say that, I think people don't understand how much respect and love I have for African melanated people. You too have a beautiful story, an eloquent story, an elaborate story. I respect your story as it is my story because we are melanated people. We share a lot of the same struggles, all perhaps. Some people see things in so many divisive manners. They always want someone to beat up on, even in their own, you know, clans. Let alone people that share melanin skin globally, mind you. I think it's time to grow up and figure out how to respect, honor, find the likeness, find the value of development, use your skill sets, use your mindset. All we have to do from a melanated perspective is focus internally. Don't build your ego up to where you can't be perceptive to growth. So let's keep on strolling, you dig? We're gonna go to Africa tonight. Yeah. Some people call it the motherland, of course. But mind you, there are two hemispheres on this planet. Melanated people are indigenous globally. I will show you. We're gonna educate tonight. I will show you how Telling the melanated chronicles of the globe is vital. It's extremely vital. Let's stroll, okay? First of all, can y'all see that? Shake into the up. The African origins of civilization, myth, or reality. That's an absolute reality, shaken to the up. The purveyors of all civilization from the Eastern Hemisphere. I'm looking west right now. The Eastern Hemisphere. Okay. They gave the Eastern Hemisphere the whole game of civilization. That's just a fact, Jack. Okay. Diop wrote multiple books about the African origins of civilization. Uh, you learned about the Etruscans, the Phoenicians, the Cometians. That's me. That's me, ladies and gentlemen. Cometian all day, baby. Cometian. Yeah. Cometian studier. Yeah. That's my bloodline. That's you know, that's who I am. I'm a Ramesses by blood. That's the house I come from, House Ramesses. Ramesses III and his daddy and his son Pintois. Ramesses had a hard run dealing with Queen T. Boy, he ain't have more power than her. So everybody running around here talking about I'm King Ramesses. No. Women had so much power. That's where politics came from. That time period, a more advanced time period and era in civilization. They call it the Stone Age. They know like bluga bluga, a baga baga. No. That's a peon perspective. But carry on. Cheerio. Again, I'm glad I brought that up. Cheerio. Civilization or barbarism. So we talking. Sheikh Enten Diop was talking about how the classes of how the Saxon and the Anglos and the British, the whatever they wanted to call themselves, the English, um, they were well dressed thugs, can speak well and can write but couldn't think. You can dress yourself up as good as you want. They say you can put a lipstick on a pig. That's what civilization of barbarism is about. It's called the this book is the first realization of cognitive dissonance on display for the world to see and not even having to give a damn. That's what he's that's what Sheikh Anta Diop was breaking down. For real, for real. Look him up. Real doctor. Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop. A Sudanese. Salute. John G. Jackson. Woo, woo. John G. Jackson. African Civilizations. Introduction by Dr. John Hendrick Clark. If y'all look at the only download that I got, you'll see the melanated brother, Dr. John Hendrick Clark, speaking about how when it comes to melanated issues, we can resolve all problems globally with no means of any other lighter melanated people, but in some instances, lighter melanated people are more aware than some darker complected melanated people. And we have to keep that perspective alive when dealing with our champions, dealing with people that just have the will within to be something that they want to be from a very specific place of a human projection. Those things are real. And that's why the introduction to African civilizations is you have to understand melanated people were and still are in the same places that they have always been. There were a lot of moving and transporting of bodies, not just black people. How did America end up with so many Europeans? I'll save this one for later. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna show you some books that you need to get to. This one right here. Y'all see that? It's called White Slaves, African Masters, an anthology, American, Barbary, Captivity, Narratives. I keep telling y'all, we're gonna walk through some barriers. We're gonna learn how to equip ourselves with information, knowledge, knowing who you are, your story, how you come about, how you can still shine, how you can still bring your light back to yourself, your eloquence. You know, white slaves, African masters. You wouldn't believe that, but I would read some out of this book, but I want y'all to let me know if you want me to do a special on this, okay? Please let me know. Leave your likes in the comments. I want you to like this information and share it and you know make people aware. Like I'm trying to help us become aware with ourselves. Let's build a new paradigm. You understand? Let's do a paradigm shift. If we're gonna go through a what you would call a great divide, well, let's just put our foot on the gas. Because if people want to be divided from me, I'm gonna stand tall and divide. You dig? That's how this gonna go. For real though. Okay. Now, look at that. The chosen people of the caucus. Chosen people from the caucus. Michael Bradley. Ooh, he's the same author of y'all should know. I'm not gonna even tell y'all, that's just too easy. So anyway, Jewish origins, delusions, deceptions, and historical roles in the slave trade, genocide, and cultural colonization. The foreword is done by Dr. John Henry Clark. My he's one of the most he is one of the most greatest master teachers of all time from again a different perspective. He had his time. It's time to grow up because he addressed all of those things. Sometimes it's good for us to listen to our elders and not disrespect them, not act as if their information isn't valuable. That's not very intelligent, but that's not very intelligent. I'll say again, but so we're just gonna move right along. Okay, all right, we're gonna move along. All right. Oh yeah, the Green Book, the Negro Motorist Green Book, compendium, 4 volumes of the Jim Crow Travel Guide for African Americans, covering all 4 decades, during which series was published 1938, 1947, 1954, 1963. Creator Victor H. Green. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get a good view on this one for you, man. This is incredible. See, this is what uh, for decades, the safest way for African Americans to navigate a segregated U.S. was to rely on the Negro Motorist Green Book, the annual guide listing hotels, restaurants, and other businesses that would serve the black customer. A few remaining copies are museum pieces, but now you can see the content of 4 volumes from across the guide's 30-year history. See all the articles, all the ads, and all things listed for the key parts of American travel history. We done this thing before, my people. We've accomplished so much. So all we're asking every person to do, if you want to know some about real American history, and I know we're traveling, but I had to take a walk back because this is a different time where the last date this ended was 1963. So they came with a whole nother trick bag on us. You understand what I'm saying? We had to use these type of tools to navigate, and they are still necessary to this day. These type of blueprints could also solve all of our issues. We are the most creative people on the planet. If we got folks that want to deal with us, you can, but at the end of the day, it comes with respect. Point blank and period. That's how that go. You understand? You understand? Again, the celebration of the globe. Global melanin. The introduction. I'm gonna say this for another day. It's too. I don't even want to get into it. I'm gonna just back up off that one. But what I will go with, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen. You dig? Black man of the Nile and his family. Dr. Yosef A. Ben Yakinen. Okay, so Dr. Ben Yakinen is a master teacher with a forceful command in ancient contemporary history. He uses his wit, humor, common sense, and ancient history and exposes historical distortions. Currently retired, but still active. God bless Dr. Ben. He has transcended. So rest in power, Dr. Ben. I just wanted to say that. Ashe. Uh, where was I? Currently retired, but we know. Dr. Ben has taught on the faculty of colleges and universities in the United States and abroad. He is a former senior lecturer, faculty of languages of Al Azhar University, Arab Republic of Egypt, and for many years served as adjunct professor of history and Egyptology at Cornell University, Africana Studies and Research Center. So this man is extremely legit. He very pivotal in my early studies of uh, the discovery of finding my place in the world. And like Dr. John Henry Clark say, I wasn't going to be happy until I found myself and my people. So, a lot of this information wasn't prevalent at one point in time. Um, it just wasn't available. It wasn't taught in schools. That's why it's so important that I give you this valuable uh, display of human culture, melanated historical documentation, and very heavily documented and written about in very wonderful ways. And I'm just sharing you with a few things that you can see. And I'm going to make sure we're building here. So I'm going to make sure I add these things for you to see. Maybe you want to purchase them. So whatever you connect with, the wheel is yours. You got to connect with what you want, and whatever vibes with you, um, whatever you connect with, whatever speaks to you. You know, give those authors their flowers, and they have legacies. You want to leave a legacy one day, so make sure you keep those things in mind. With you got to get older one day. We all have to keep developing, and these tools are also mental weapons of security and prowess. So let's keep diving into it. We still on Dr. Ben, yeah? Africa. I see this book in reverse. It says Africa, mother of Western civilization, which is actually factually true when it comes to the way Dr. Ben broke this book down. He was speaking from civilized mannerisms, cultures, when it comes to morals and ethics, and how you really deal in the ethics and of ethics when you're dealing with people, okay? People, okay? You see how you got Africa on top and you got the rest of the globe at the bottom? What he was speaking about, uh, from where it was still, I would say, a European-esque Western philosophical perspective due to the lack of discoveries that were allowed in the West for very we'll say they had reasons to cover up indigenous cultures in the West due to the prowess of wanting to take the land, wanting to set a new precedent. They called it the New World. They called it manifest destiny. Okay? So the Western philosophical mind state brings us to Urugu. Okay? So let me read this for you. It is an African-centered critique of European culture, thought, and behavior. Again, Urugu removes the mask from the European facade and thereby reveals the inner workings of global white supremacy, a system which functions to guarantee the control of European and her descendants, the few, over the majority of the world's people, the many. It is devastating. Sorry. It is a devastating critique which uniquely focuses on the intellectual cognitive rules by which the system of dominance operates, the assumption, ascendance, and valorization of the national mode. Dr. Marimba Ani exposes the role of both the academic and Christian establishment in postularizing as universal that which is indeed culturally specific to European and which therefore functions in the interest or European dominance, since that is the nature of the acai. So this is an extension of the philosophical mind state and perspective of the uh, the mindset of a culture that considers themselves dominant by ruled ideological thought and everything that has no proof whatsoever that proves you're dominant. It's you don't have the you just don't have the information that holds up at this point. It's a crock of shit. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's terrible. Anyway, moving right along. Let's talk more about this too, y'all. How about this? This book is it's kind of bright. It's a little bright. You know, yeah, there we go. There we go. Y'all see that? Yeah, I found a good angle for you. Oh yeah. The Good Steward Financial Empowerment Series, The Black Tax, The Cost of Being Black in America, and what you can do to help create the 6 million jobs and 1.4 million businesses that are missing in the black community. Sean D. Rozier. The Black Tax is an extraordinary analysis of how anti-black bias has created a detrimental tax that black Americans pay into the auto, housing, online job, and lending markets, and how the tax has suffocated our entrepreneurial spirit, restricted our ability to develop healthy families, decreasing the number of communities that provide a quality education, safe neighborhoods, and gainful employment, and significantly reduced by the ability to leave a sizable inheritance to our children. The black tax, however, does not focus on injustice. Instead, it qualifies the physical impact of the tax, provides the data to support it, and then offers ways that black Americans can offset the effects and create 6 million jobs and 1.4 million businesses in the black community. That sounds wonderful. You understand? That's pivotal. So I think you guys, we're gonna go into this one too. We're gonna definitely go into this book here because I mean this is a solutions based platform. It's an experience. We can all low. We can on a low like just have a good old time. Build and renew ourselves on a continuum. So that's the type of information that we really want to get out here too because I want to make sure that we truly understand that sometimes you are the slave and the master. You ever thought about that? Sometimes it's you. That's why we want to keep building into a place of no denial. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me show you something. We got a book called Egypt Before the Pyramids. You know why? You know why? Follow me. First of all, we have to understand how to look at things from a different lens. Sometimes you have to have the ability to look at yourself in a different lens. Sometimes it's your fault. And sometimes you just have to be big enough to move forward. Sometimes that's just what it takes. Uh, you have to have prowess. You have to have gumption. You have to have a mental mindset that's incomparable. You have to stay informed. You have to stay relevant. You have to keep yourself protected. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you loved the book review. I mean, sometimes we have to, reach beyond who we think we are. You know what I mean? So, the melanated experience was the first experience of humanity. My DNA is over 300,000 years old. We know so much, but so little. But it's intriguing, it's exciting. The one thing about learning all this knowledge, and if you even look at all these books that intrigue me, that I search, some of them are references. Some of them are so intriguing I can't keep my hands off of them. Uh, Others are making sure I back up my points, making sure I solidify my my knowledge, making sure I can practice enough humility to know the more I learn, the more you understand how much you don't know, how much you have to keep learning, how much you have to make it and build it into your daily fabric and your lifestyle. Because at some point, that's going to be the only time, or that's going to be the only thing you're going to have to use to protect yourself, protect your your being that you have worked so hard to develop, practice so much uh, ingenuity with the ability to reach back, reformulate, renew, restructure, all of which is necessary to build a very strong internal infrastructure. Melanated people globally, as you can see, we have a world of people that are our children. They are not even in the habits of discovering themselves. You have Japanese phenotypes that are darker than me. You have the Aboriginals from Australia. You have the indigenous South Americans. You have the Tainos from the Caribbean. You have the actual indigenous Indo-Europeans that were dark skinned. They also were conquered by the Phoenicians and the Carthaginians. Rome was not all white. They got all their gods from the Greeks. The Greeks got all their gods from the Cometians. Africa got all its gods from the Americas. I know that sounds controversial to y'all, but you might have to prove me wrong if you dare. All right. I'm going to get up out of here tonight. But I got to leave you with one thing. Before 1500 AD or the late 1400s, who ran the ports, who ran the globe, who ran the whole world? Who likeness was everywhere? Why did they have, we got so many mounds and pyramids globally, especially in the Maruka in Africa, or Alkebulan, Ethiopia, what have you, the whole continent. You know, it had a lot of names, but Maruka was Turtle Island, Mary, Kemet. There's a lot of history that needs to be uncovered, ladies and gentlemen. We can turn everything upside down or right side up. Everything's up to us. Once again, you are the slave and the master. Whoever you want to be, you have to choose. Vice, virtue. Never miss the opportunity to be the new you. All right. The Will Is Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know, I welcome those things. I read them. I want y'all to let me know how to improve the show. And again, pick a book. Let's start let's start some stuff, man. Y'all want to start some shit? Pick a book y'all want me to talk about. Leave it in the comments. Whoever leaves the first comment to say you want to talk about one specific book in depth, let me know. We can get to it. All right, y'all. This is Danny D. And once again, I love being y'all humble host, man. We're going to grow and do so much together. We're going to build together. I hope y'all like my shows, man. Let me know. But don't forget, like, subscribe, share. Let's help each other out here. But remember, I'm your humble host, Danny D, and the wheel is yours. Just like that.